welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasha for those who don't know me. Today's look is on this pretty cut crease full glam eye look. The products that I use in here are pretty much all affordable. There might be some pieces that are a little bit, but for the most part, everything is affordable. And if you guys want to see how I got this look, just keep on watching. So I did my foundation, concealer, and my brows off camera because I wanted to focus mainly on the eye look. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to take my Kevyn Aucoin. This is a concealer. Just to use it to prime my eyelids, and then I have my flat brush that I use, and I'm just going to do my lids. And this right here is just so everything can come out really pigmented and it shows up really well. I could use an actual primer for my lids, but I like how this looks. And this stuff, Kevyn Aucoin, is really pigmented. Like, this is like full coverage concealer. You can use this, I think, as a foundation, but this stuff goes a long way. Like, I've had this almost, I think maybe 6 months ago, and this stuff is holding on strong. I used to have one a long time ago. I had that for over a year, but then again, I wasn't using it every single day, so maybe that's probably why it lasts a long time. But it does really, this stuff, you only need a dab, like literally a dab. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but it's worth it. And I like to take my sponge and just kind of like blend everything. So because I did my foundation and face, I'm gonna put powder under my under eyes, and I'm gonna set this as well, so if any fallout comes out, it won't mess up my under eyes. And I'm taking the Airspun loose powder. I usually get this from like Walgreens or something. This is super cheap. It's really good too as well. I'm going to take my sponge, just put powder down here. And I take the same sponge and I just use this to set my eyes. So I take my Morphe E40, I think. I'm taking Toasted from the Sugar Cone Sweet Shop BH Cosmetics palette. And I'm just gonna put that in my crease. This is like my transition shade. I do this like in swirly motions, but I also go like back and forth, like a windshield wiper motion as well. And this just helps so when all the colors are blended and everything look really nice and seamless. Like, you always want to have like that nice little base color. You need a fluffy brush like this to build it up instead of just packing it on your eyes. And it's okay if it's a little sloppy or whatever. You just blend it. This is just a set color for right now, just so everything is nice and blended. And I have a very light hand when I'm doing this. I'm not really like going full blown like pressure on it. Like, usually keep your hand further back so it can be more light. If you keep your hand like this, you're too strong. Like, you just want to keep it like light when you're doing this. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm taking the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place. This is really, she makes really good palettes, and they're really affordable. They'll always have discounts. I went into the shade Tots, and I'm using the same brush. I'm going under the other shade. And because it's so pigmented, I like to just go a little at a time. I don't like to go full blown, like swirling it in. Like, I just a little, and then I tap it off, and then I just keep building it up. I don't want to go, because sometimes you can put too much and it looks crazy. And blending is really important. Like, I'm showing you guys how long I'm literally blending. Like, I think that's the most important when you're doing makeup. Like, your blend game has to be really, really good. Like, just, I know it's tiring and it's exhausting, but that's the only way your makeup look will come out really, really nice. I mean, personally for me, I think so, because it makes everything look so seamless. And it's okay if the first color gets a little lost, because we're gonna always go back in with that color again and just keep going back and forth, making sure everything's blended in perfect. This is when I like stamping in if I need just a little bit more pigmented, and then I just, whatever I stamped in, I just use that and just keep going back and forth. And I like to go right up in here in this part. I guess it's like the inner socket of your eye. Yeah, and I like to just make sure that's blended as well too. This next brush, which is the Real Technique brush. It's fluffy, but it's a little bit more dense. This brown fez shade, and more on the outer corner of my lid, just to darken it up. And I stamp this like so on the outer corner, just to deepen, and then I'll start to blend. And you do, like, you want to stay further down, and you go really slow, and I keep my hands further back here, and I just slowly take your time, and I just go like circle motions on, more so on the outer. So I just stamp it a little bit just to pack it, just so I know where I want it to be placed. And then I slowly just go, and I keep this low. So that same brush that I used before to prime my lids, I'm going to take the same one, and I'm going to do the cut crease. I'm taking the CoverGirl in Soft Tan. This stuff is really good, but you have to move fast with this. I mean, not super fast, but it does dries down pretty fast. So I just put this on the back of my hand. I put it like so. And because my crease is here, I want to go a little bit above it, so when I open my eyes, you can see. Because if I keep my crease exactly where it's at, where the natural crease is, when I open, you won't see the actual cut crease itself, only if my eyes is open. But if I have it like a little bit above my crease, you'll see the full blown out look. So my cut crease is here. Like, if I open my eyes, my cut crease is here. I'm gonna go a little bit above that. And I just stamp it. And you want to take your time when doing this, because this could go left real fast. And I'm just stamping it until I get to the outer corner of my lid, but not all the way to the outer corner, because it's more so not a full cut crease, it's more like in half. See how my eye is open and you can still see the crease, you can still see it. Now if I would have kept it lower, you wouldn't see too much. Like, and this probably is the hardest part of doing your makeup. I mean, well, when you're doing like this type of look, cut crease, like, because you want to have that sharp look. Like there's a guy who does really great cut crease. I think his Instagram is called Mitchell. I think that's how you say it. I think he's from the UK, and he does these cut crease so bomb. Like, if you ever want to look him up, like, he's really, really good. Now, like, you see my eyes, even though my eyes are open, you still can see it above my crease. Instead, if I would have it like super low, you wouldn't see it as blown out. I'm going to take the same brush, Real Technique brush, and I'm going to use this Amrezy palette. Use a dark brown here, just to kind of darken it up a little bit more. And I take a little bit of black as well. Just a dab. Like, this stuff is pigmented. And I just stamp it in. And I'm really, really close to the lash line, just to give it like that darkened look. And I'm just bringing it up a little bit above that little crease that I cut. This is when I just put my hands further back here so I can be like a light touch, and I just go a little bit above. I kind of like do like the surprise look as I'm have my eyelid down, and I just go back with my fluffy brush and just blend that out so it doesn't be all harsh. Whatever, I don't go with no other product. Whatever product's left on this brush, that's what I just go over with. I'm taking this BH Cosmetics flat brush. This is the Try by Juvia's Place palette, and I'm taking these two shades, Chaga and Coral. I'm gonna mix them together, and I just stamped this too right on the inner corner. It has like this greenish gold undertone. Cut Crease already gave you the guideline of where you're gonna place it, so it shouldn't be that hard to just kind of like place the product right where it's at. When you drag, it doesn't show as much, so you just take your time and you just stamp it on. And probably towards the end, I won't necessarily drag, but I'll just kind of like blend it in with the darker shade, so it looks like it's all together instead of just having 1 and 2 shades. Do the same thing on the next, and I kind of just go in. So I take that this brush again, and I go back into the Amrezy and Anastasia. Take the same 2 shades, 1988 and BK, and just make sure everything is kind of like, and I'm still stamping out. I'm not like dragging it out, just so the 2 colors can look perfectly blended together. This is time for the liner. I take Maybelline, this Long Lasting Drama. This is old. This is like a throwback. In the color Black is Black. I'm just gonna use this Morphe brush, M160, and I just go in with that. The lower lash line as my guideline for my cut crease. So it started here as if I'm gonna go down here, and then I just work my way up like that. I swear sometimes I'll be filming, I'll be thinking it's not gonna come together. Like when I'm not filming, I feel like my makeup be coming out perfect, and like the moment I turn the camera on, I feel like something start to happen. Like, but right now I'm having a really good day with this cut crease. I am feeling myself. Like, I love a good makeup day. Like, I am so happy right now. Okay, fluffy brush. I'm just gonna wipe the excess from under my eyes. So, and you want to like pat in as you're going out. So I'm taking that same brush, and I'm just going to use the same gel liner, and I'm going to do my under eye, and I'm putting it in a line, like in the, what is this? I forgot what you call this. In my waterline. Oh my God, in my waterline. And that's going to connect right to this part too. See? This brush is an angled eyeliner brush from BB, just to set that black liner on the bottom. So I'm just going to set it like so. So I'm going to take Taza, and I'm also going to take the same Toasted from this other palette. I'm going to tap those 2 shades together like this, and I'm going to go on the bottom. Same 2 shades, and I'm gonna go to the other side. Okay, I think that's good enough for me. I don't want it too smoked out. So I'm gonna take this little brush, the ColourPop L1, and I'm using the Huda Beauty. I'm gonna use that for that little green in the corner. I'm gonna take these 2 shades right in the inner corner as like a base. And then I'm going to take this other shade, which is like a shimmery shade, And I'm gonna put that right on top. And how it gives that blown out look now. I'm gonna take my mascara before I do my lashes. Use is Lily Lashes in Dallas. Really, really pretty lashes. Dual lash glue. Pop it down in the middle. And you want your lashes to get as close as possible to your actual lashes. Moving on to the lips, I'm taking this lip pencil, this brown lip pencil. I got this from the beauty supply store. And I'm taking MAC Freckle Tone as my lipstick, so. Then I'm gonna take this setting spray and just spray my face. This is the Ruby Kisses one. Take this brush. I go back in with Cookie Dough and Dipped as my highlight. And then I go use the other side of the brush, same shades, and go down just a little bit, not all the way down my nose, but just kind of at the bridge. And a little bit on the little. This is how you get this look. You guys enjoyed this look. And that's just that. I hope you enjoyed it.